let's clarify that social media indeed has tons of benefits that makes it relevant in almost every aspect of life. But hidden behind this benefit is the potential to get addicted. That's why you may open your Instagram just to check a DM, and the next thing you are watching a funny skit and reading the comment war under a celebrity's post. Boom, 3 hours gone, and you've barely achieved anything for the day. This happens to even the most accomplished amongst us. Social media is a wonderful tool that helps us connect, but it can also be a time-killing machine. And that's why we must learn regulation for maximum productivity. And today we'll focus on providing tips that you can use to regulate your social media usage to ensure maximum productivity. On I'll hold it here first of all and ask Tembeke, how often do you use social media, and how does it affect your productivity daily?
Right. Thank you very much. Okay, on social media. A whole lot about social media, and then as you earlier said, the rate of addictions. Social media tends to be addictive in a whole lot of ways, and so for one to actually have maximum productivity, definitely you have to actually regulate your timing, and that has to do with the quality of time you actually spend on everything you actually get yourself involved in. And funny enough, one might be wasting a lot of time without knowing. One doesn't even need to actually give a time for social media. We make it part of the daily things we do. One can actually be on social media and then cooking. One can be on social media and doing a whole lot of things around. And one really won't understand that as a result, your productivity in these areas is actually reduced. Okay, now coming to the fact that when I was done with secondary school, I got so much involved in social media, and then for months and years, I just knew that my life was stagnant. So I had to really, because I'm that person that we actually want to monitor my life and then check if I'm going forward, if I'm progressing or not. Then when I found out that, okay, yes, I'm actually really stagnant, can't even make it properly in terms of academics and a whole lot, I had to look for means on how to get these things done. Right? I seek out for a mentor, and then they then actually try to find out what I use my time for. Only for me to find out that, okay, we brought out my gadgets, and then we had to check the hours I give to different apps, and then we then found out that about 17 hours a day was given to social media. You could imagine what a waste a life could be. So I had to, ever since, I had to personally regulate my timing on social media. So I cannot spend up to 2-3 hours on social media a day, maximum 3 hours, and that is because I have something very important I'm actually going for. Basically, social media has a whole lot of impact on the youth these days, and it has a lot of advantages. The information is wide, you can actually get informed, but at the same time, you can actually waste your life as a result.
Social media. You can actually waste your life on social media, yes. Now, but I'll come to you now, Yahweh. Yahweh, there are people that their lives are on social media. There are people that make it big on social media. Social media is a world on its own. So for those people that this is their life, do they still, he talked about regulating your time on social media. Do those ones still need to regulate their time on social media when this is like a source of livelihood for them? And who should these regulations be applied to actually?
Well, if you're talking about regulation to start with, is people that make use of social media what exactly are you using it for? So if we are saying for those that is their source of livelihood, and they stay there. Hey, you understand? They literally live there, and we are in a time where content creation or creating content is more like a gold mine now for people. So if you know how to do very interesting and important, do very interesting content, you get people to always watch you. But with that being said, people must ask themselves, what exactly do they? Because if you're looking at productivity, you have to look at, okay, what are the things? So people don't have goals. They don't have set out goals. They just live, as the day comes by. So if I wake up today and say, okay, today this is what I want to do. So you go for it. If you are very goal oriented and objective, and you'll definitely be able to hit that because this is what you set out to do today. So, but I know that social media has been integrated into day-to-day life, our everyday life. We are always on WhatsApp, we are on Instagram, but we know the apps that take so much of our time. For me, WhatsApp is like every day because you need to drop, maybe somebody has dropped message, maybe office, or maybe your church, or maybe you're in a group where things need to be done, so you just have to check. So, but the addictive part of it is that people should learn sometimes to just drop their phones. Sometimes people should just learn to stay off for a while. That's what I do. Sometimes I just think of, I take a stock of how my day has gone or how it's going, and I'm like, okay, I just keep it one side and I pick up a book to read. The thing that is going to help people to be less addictive to social media is have a set out plan for the day. Trust me, it's going to help you, because if you set out to do certain things, okay, we say today I want to do my laundries. Today I want to read 3 chapters of a book that I'm starting. Today I need to do this. I need to just get anything, whatever it is that you are doing. Set goals, be objective about your day. It is going to help you regulate your social media time. So you know that you are not spending too much time on social media for the time that you are used to achieve your goals or that you're supposed to use for self-development.
Do not waste those times that you are supposed to use to achieve your goals on social media. Yes. Kedum said, regulate your time. And the Incredible Yahweh said, do not waste that precious time you would use to achieve your goals on social media doing nothing. But if that's where you make your living, baby, please sleep there. Thank you very much. And now to our first point here that we'll be looking at is set clear boundaries. Now, setting boundaries is... Setting boundaries is more profound than many people realize. You must be prepared to adhere to the boundaries you set. Be specific about every boundary you set. For example, don't just say, I will reduce screen time. Instead, set the exact number of hours you would want to spend on social media every day. It should be something like, I'll scroll through social media from 7 p.m. until 8 p.m. Stick to your decision, because if you break it, you are cheating yourself. Now, it's easy to start, but how do we stay consistent? Like somebody watching the show has been like, okay, I've tried this, it did not work. Now, how do you stay consistent when you set these boundaries? What keeps you? What's that motivation that would keep you to even want to go, Yahweh?
Well, you have to always tell yourself the truth, and the truth is, where am I going with my life? What am I going to do with my life? Is it social media that scrolling social media? Is it what I want my life to be about? People just need to tell themselves the honest truth. If you don't tell yourself the truth, then you can't move on. You can't move on. So you must really tell yourself the truth. That okay, this is where I'm going in life. This is what I want to do. That's why my first point, you have to be very intentional about your goals and your objectives for the day. A lot of people in life always are looking at the grand scheme, the big things, but life is not like that. Life is precept upon precept, block upon block. That's how you build it. The addictions that we have in society today did not just start in one day. It took time. You are doing it every day. Why not stick to this one too every day to be able to reverse or re-engineer the whole thing? So people expect things to happen overnight, and when things are not happening the way they should, then you now say, oh, this thing is not working. That's not how it works. So if you want to increase your productivity, you must tell yourself the truth. What exactly is my life going to be about? What do I want? How do I want my life to be? What is the outcome of my life? So I'm not saying social media is bad. So people I use social media to learn. I use social media to do a lot of my work. You know, you learn from different people and all of that. But, you know, outside social media, you need to study. You need to do other things around you that are not on social media. So if you really, 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 really want to reverse the effect of social media addiction and to increase your productivity, you have to firstly tell yourself the truth that if you stay here, you're not going to amount to anything. You're going to remain stuck. So what do? I set goals, set objective. And it's not just setting it. What am I going to be doing each day? So you wake up each day, say, okay, I'm doing this today, I'm doing that today. You wake up again, I'm doing this today, I'm doing that today. And as you keep doing it, you've formed a habit. You formed a habit, and before you know, you're on autopilot. So you're doing it without even thinking, because you have re-engineered your habits.
It's now more like a lifestyle for you.
Exactly.
So you don't struggle.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes people are unfair to themselves, because you have to keep doing it every day. You must pick 3 things that you want to do each day. Okay, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. If it is church you want to go to, if it's prayer, I want to pray. If it's books you want to read, if it is a session with your mentors, or you want to learn or gain a skill, you say, okay, I'm going to Coursera, I'm going to Udemy, I'm going to spend 3 hours every day learning this particular skill. Trust me, 3 hours in 90 days, you are going to crash it. So people need to be very truthful to themselves, and it is one step at a time. You just go. You want a massive effect, but you don't get results like that. People get results over time.
People get results over time. Tell yourself the truth and take it one step at a time. And now let me come to Kedum. Kedum's, you've had an experience, right? Yeah. You've had an experience. Now your mentors guided you, were your guide to this. Then they've done their bid. Yeah. Yes, they've shown you that, okay, see, you waste this amount of time on social media. How did you stay consistent with, how did you turn it now to your lifestyle?
All right. First of all, we need to understand that media itself, social media, was actually designed to be addictive. Primarily designed to be addictive, and this is the reason, because those that actually got these apps functioning, this is where they actually feed from. So if they don't make it addictive, definitely they are not going to eat. So they
very funny actually.
So basically there is this algorithm they use such that whatsoever you like, that's what pops up. So you just come up today and then all of a sudden what you were thinking about a few moments ago come and there is, okay, let me spend a little time on this and then get to, and before you know, time is gone. Now, research have shown that over 90% of the world population is actually indisciplined. That means the world lack the virtue discipline. And that's where it comes in. You need to actually tell yourself the truth. As he said, you need to actually be sincere with yourself. Now, it is easier to be great in our days because a whole lot of persons are weak. So if you really want to be productive, you need to actually have to stand out from the rest of the world. All right. I personally know that I have a lot of goals to actually get done. I personally know that I have things to actually get myself fixed to. All right. And I know I'm not earning from social media. I told myself early enough that if a thing is not going to educate me, it's not going to pay me, I'm definitely not going to be there. So if an event is not going to educate me, if an event is not going to pay me, I'm definitely not going to be there. So looking at social media itself, you've seen that this thing actually is not paying you. Even if it's paying you, it's actually possible that one can be addictive. It's paying you, but the other parts of your life is going to actually die off. Basically, we know that in this media stuff, it is those that actually programmed this actually did this such a way that you are just used for a time, and then you after your time is over, they dump you and then look for another person that is going to trend. So knowing this fully well, so even if you are making a lot of money from it now, even if you're a star out there and then social media is actually paying you a lot of time, you should understand that this app will not, when your time is over, when you start losing fame, it's definitely not going to actually pity you and say you've been a hero here. So definitely what is actually going to happen is they're going to dump you, and then that is when you're going to face other parts of your life. So if you spend your whole life on the social, on media, you spend your whole life scrolling from morning till night because you want to create content, actually remember that there will be a time when you will no longer, if you are into comedy, there will be a time you no longer get funny because we have more persons that will create more funny jokes and then to create more funny content. So if you are into a whole lot of things, you definitely know there is a time for you and there is other time for you. That's the reason why you need to maximize it. I know a lot of persons that they are not even into social media monetization, but they get paid from a whole lot of stuff on media. Talking about X, you can become a millionaire in weeks or months by actively engaging on Twitter. This is not Twitter paying you, this is you getting a lot of jobs. What about LinkedIn? So the opportunities on social media is vast, but the disadvantages is so much that it can actually destroy a life. We've seen situations whereby people become socially isolated such that they feel they are comfortable. All of a sudden, they later find out that all this while they lack real people, they lack individuals in their life. So basically, one can be scrolling for money. You are indoor. You hear some people say things like, just give me data and then give me 100% charge.
There are people that actually are like that. But I'll come to you. You said it's easier to be great in our days because a lot of people. Can you explain that particular statement?
We have lots of
briefly.
Mediocres. We have lots of mediocres in the society, and that's the reason why even if you stand out foolishly, you're going to win. Because we have a lot of persons, we have a lot of lazy people in our society today. We have a lot of people that are not really ready for life. So the little effort you actually put in, you definitely win. You know, I struggled in terms of academics a period in my life, and then I decided, not that I did anything serious, not that I read more than any other person. I just decided to be spending at least an hour, 2 hours into my academics. I then found out I became one of the best with 1 hour, 2 hours. So you then discover that even those that you think they are genius, they are not really the way you think. It's just because we have a lot of mediocres in our society. We have a lot of persons that are not ready to put in work. So if you can put in a little work, just a little work, you become a star in our day.
If you can put in just a little work, you will become a star in our day. And that goes forth to collaborate what Yahweh said, 2 hours, 3 hours a day. And trust me, 90 days you stand out. You surely stand out. I'm sure Kedums here is a witness, is a testament to that particular fact. And now on our second point here, he says remove notifications. Yes, those little red bubbles are evil. You see one like notification and suddenly you've entered a rabbit hole. If you are serious about controlling your time, you would better turn off notifications for non-essential apps. You don't need to know immediately when someone likes your picture of jollof rice. It can wait. Okay, the other one says schedule social media breaks like you schedule lunch. We schedule meetings, lunch, and even afternoon naps. Why do you think you can't schedule social media breaks? In fact, taking occasional breaks from your screen is important as it can significantly benefit brain health. When you allocate a specific time for scrolling you stay in control instead of letting your thumb take over your life. Try to set the break during your free time. This helps you feel like you have total control over your break. And the fourth one says use the out of sight, out of mind. Use the out of sight, out of mind technique. Put your phone on silent mode. Keep it in another room or turn it face down while walking. The less visible your device is, the less tempted you are to pick it up every 2 seconds. If you need motivation, remember that the urgent deadlines or proposal you are working on won't submit itself. Now, I would stay on this particular one. How visible is it to set break times for your phone?
Yeah, it's very possible. It's very possible. You could say, okay, maybe between the hours of 2 and 4, I'm not going to touch my phone. I remember yesterday, I think I didn't touch my phone for maybe 2 hours plus. I didn't touch my phone for like 2 hours plus. I was just thinking about what next to do, what are the things that I need to do, what are the things that I need to get done. So everything starts with being intentional. Like some of the things that we read out. Sometimes I just put it on silent, or I reduce the volume, or I just put it under the pillow. Yeah, I'm meditating, or I'm picking up. There are stacks of books that I have kept to read this month. So I just go through them, just read them, and all of that. And the thing really, it helps your brain. You know, a lot of people don't. I think screen time has taken a lot of. It has deprived people the opportunity to become better people. So when I say better people, in terms of knowledge, information, how to be able to change parts or aspects of your life, because a lot of people don't know what reading, for instance. Reading, if you read, you develop new cells, new brain cells. That's been scientifically proven. So the more you read, the more you increase your propensity to do something very fantastic in the world. Sometimes it's in reading, meditating, thinking that ideas come. I think, like what Kedum said, that those are the things that stand people out. If you look at the likes of Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, Elon, etc., and the rest of them, these are people that they find out time, they make out time. They are barely on their phones. Barely, honestly, if you check. These people they think, they read, they are very, very curious. You know, I feel like if you really want to maximize social media, now they've included AI into every social media app, that thing, I sometimes if somebody says a word that I've never heard before, I quickly check up the meaning, or if I see a particular video that does say something on health, what to eat to live longer, to live healthier, you just Google it, okay, this, that, and it really helps you. So one of the ways to even maximize your screen time is that you are using it to learn. So if you're using your screen time to learn, it will benefit you the most. But we know how we can be very indisciplined with the use of our social media. So scheduling breaks is very, very possible. You could say, okay, from when I wake up in the morning, I will not touch my phone till 10 a.m. Except maybe you need to check if there's any important information for the day to get you rolling. I say, okay, I'm not going to touch it till like 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. Then maybe when you check, you're not going to touch it again. You're going to have a break, maybe 2 to 4. You're not going to use it. You go about doing some other things. So it's just know what works for you, regulate it for yourself, and you'll be fine at the end of the day.
Know what works for you, regulate it, and you would be fine at the end of the day. Kidums, I'll come to you on this one. Reward yourself for sticking to the limits. Humans love rewards, even small ones. Treat yourself to something special for sticking to your screen time goals. For example, if I stay off social media till 6 p.m., I'll eat my favorite suya guilt-free tonight. Positive reinforcement works better than beating yourself up every time you sleep. Now, do you reward yourself when you stay off screen time?
Actually,
you do?
No.
I for sure.
Don't.
Me myself,
Right?
I for sure.
I really don't. Right, but if that works for someone out there,
Yeah.
please, you can. All right. If you are indisciplined, you need to be sincere with yourself. I am indisciplined, and then I need to work on being
Disciplined.
being disciplined.
Yeah.
And you really need to understand that there is a whole lot of work to do, and then if you are going to make impact in your world, if you're definitely going to actually bring things into being, you're going to create systems, you need to understand that your time is actually very, very important. And if your time is important, what you put your time into doing, whatsoever you invest your time in, is actually very much paramount, and you take it with a whole lot of discipline. You take it as though your life depends on it, right? Because you have results to actually bet for. Social media can be really distracting. A whole vast opportunities out there, but the truth is this is distracting, right? Basically, I learned it from my a mentor, Anton Cray, right? He actually doesn't use smartphones. Yes, he does it. He has smartphones, but these smartphones are basically for business. He got a button phone whereby only about 50 numbers can actually get in, and then he uses that for call. That is his normal phone he actually uses. All right, I tried that for a whole lot of time. I tried it for a period of time. In short, this is something one must do. I went off from all social media platforms for all the ones you can actually measure. It's funny how you see someone on almost all the media platforms. If this is paying you, fine. If you're a celebrity out there, fine. All right. But for you to be a young person, and if you're aspiring to be that, all right, please build from one. Don't be on all the apps you find out there.
And when you finally discipline yourself to those things,
Yeah.
give